having that relationship with Pac, and then what happened with Biggie.
Suge Knight, Big, Puffy.
Yeah, and listen.
East Coast, West Coast. How the did Mike Tyson never get caught up in the East Coast, West Coast beef?
I knew it was gonna end really bad. I just knew that. I knew it wasn't gonna end nice.
Right.
And it didn't.
For many years, the world has been captivated by the captivating lives and premature passings of Hollywood stars. In the realm of hip-hop, the tragic demise of Tupac Shakur has always been a subject of mystery and speculation. However, a startling revelation has emerged from an unexpected source that has cast a new light on this enduring mystery. It appears Mike Tyson recently broached the surprising topic, hinting at possible involvement by Diddy in Tupac's untimely death. Today we aim to explore the implications of this fresh evidence and endeavor to uncover the truth surrounding the tragic event that forever altered the course of hip-hop history.
Crying that my friend is in this hospital, he's shot. And next thing you know, I'm going to my friend's funeral, but he shot my friend. That's crazy, right?
In a surprising turn of events, Mike Tyson has seemingly made a bold statement suggesting that he holds substantial evidence connecting music mogul Sean Diddy Combs to the death of Tupac. This revelation has once again brought to the forefront the enduring controversy and conjecture surrounding the perplexing and tragic passing of Tupac.
Tupac was one of those guys that we went to let them in the back, and some kind of way they even got on the stage, took the mic, they started rapping, and I met Tupac.
It all started when, at the beginning of this year, there was a noteworthy development in the ongoing investigation into the 1996 M of Tupac Shakur, a Nevada man believed to be the final living suspect under scrutiny in this long-standing unsolved case was apprehended. Officials have officially confirmed this arrest. The individual in question, Duane Keith Davis, who is also known as Keffe D, has been indicted for M by a grand jury. The formal filing of this indictment took place late on a Friday morning as outlined in Clark County District Court documents. The arrest of Duane Keith Davis, also known as Keffe D, may seem surprising given the suspicions that Mike Tyson has reportedly raised about Diddy's involvement in Tupac's death. As some online investigators have suggested, Tyson appears to claim that he possesses compelling evidence linking Sean Diddy Combs to Tupac's tragic demise. This revelation has sparked renewed interest in the ongoing debate and speculation surrounding the mysterious loss of Tupac. To truly understand the gravity of this claim, it's important to revisit the 1990s, a time when hip-hop reigned supreme, and the world was captivated by the enigmatic figures in the music industry. The arrest of Keefy D adds an intriguing layer to the complex puzzle surrounding Tupac's M.
As soon as he came up, everybody started.
So they already knew who he was. They already knew who he was.
No. They respected him.
This was an era dominated by legends such as Tupac Shakur, whose lyrical brilliance captivated the music industry. However, fast-forwarding to the present day, we are confronted with astonishing revelations. In a candid interview with DJ Vlad, Mike Tyson made a heartfelt confession, admitting that he bears a portion of responsibility for the tragic loss of the iconic rapper. This unexpected disclosure has sent shockwaves through the world and rekindled intense intrigue in the persistent enigma surrounding Tupac's premature passing.
Having that relationship with Pac, and then what happened with Biggie. How did you feel in that turmoil that they had?
I knew it was gonna end really bad. I just knew that. I knew it wasn't gonna end nice.
Right.
And it didn't.
This admission not only offers a new lens through which to view the circumstances of Tupac's demise, but also unveils the complex web of interconnected lives lived by these two influential individuals. The friendship between a renowned boxer and a dedicated activist may have seemed unorthodox, but it was undoubtedly genuine. It all began when Iron Mike Tyson had already achieved stardom, while Tupac was in the process of forging his own legacy. Their paths intersect within the walls of a nightclub, where the aspiring rapper dazzled the baddest man on the planet with his remarkable musical talents.
I got him to a club one night. I think it was one of Magic Johnson's parties that when Magic and them left and everything.
Furthermore, the charismatic singer's fervor for boxing served as a powerful catalyst, drawing them even closer. Their mutual passion for the sport became the foundation for their burgeoning friendship, prompting them to spend more time together and nurture an unshakable bond of camaraderie.
I get a call from somebody's Tupac's mother, and she explained how she know me from her son. Explained I let him in a club one night.
In a recent Drink Champs interview hosted by DJ EFN and Nori, which was released on Sunday, June 11th, Mike Tyson candidly discussed his 1992 prison experience.
I didn't want to leave prisons. I used to like it was good. I had a good life.
During the interview, he recounted a truly astonishing encounter with the legendary West Coast artist that created quite a commotion during his visit. This memorable incident occurred at an after-party held at the Palladium on Sunset in California. Iron Mike gave instructions to security to permit a group of young men to enter through the venue's rear entrance, and among those individuals was none other than Tupac himself. Quote, once he came into the visiting room, and there was all these hillbilly hicks, mean, Aryan guys. As soon as he came up, everybody started clapping, Tyson said. They respected him. Soon as he came in the room, they started applauding. Prior to this revelation on the Drink Champs interview, Mike Tyson had previously shared this intriguing story with DJ Kid, alongside former NBA players Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, during an episode of his Hot Boxing podcast. This discussion came about after the New York DJ had highlighted the exceptionally rare artwork in Tyson's possession, showcasing the captivating Machiavelli album cover artwork featuring Tupac. The guards are saying that, hey, stop, sit down. He was He was a force, Tyson told Barnes, Jackson, and Kid of the encounter. If he loved you, it was all love. But if he didn't like you, he looked for beef sometimes. He wanted you to know he was there. He continued, everywhere I go, out in Africa and Europe, people ask, what was Tupac like? How was Tupac everywhere all over the world? This is what he wanted. He wanted to be immortal. In his Drink Champs interview, Mike Tyson provided more details about the circumstances leading up to the meeting, explaining that he had crossed paths with the hit-em-up lyricist just 6 months before his 1992 incarceration. Tyson also disclosed that it was not Tupac who initiated contact and arranged the visit prior to the rapper's attendance at the event.
Everywhere I go, out of like in Africa, Europe, how was Tupac? What was Tupac like?
During the course of the interview, Tyson delved into the details of Tupac's visit and also mentioned numerous other A-list celebrities who paid him a visit.
I had everybody, B.B. King, James Brown, Whitney Houston, Florence Henderson. I can't even name them all. There's just so many people came to visit me when I was away.
During the DJ Vlad interview, Tyson also reminisced about the occasion when he convinced Tupac to come and witness one of his fights. On September 7, 1996, Tupac was present at Mike Tyson's bout against Bruce Seldon at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Tyson had wanted Tupac to attend, but in hindsight, the boxer expressed the belief that Tupac might still be alive today had he not exerted pressure on him to be at that match.
I feel a little guilty about him coming to fight me, pressuring him for, hey, bring the tape, don't forget the tape, you know?
He even elaborated that Tupac wanted him to go to 622, but he insisted him to come to Las Vegas. I know who I am. I know what my element's about, he continued. This is just what happens in my world. That was part of my world. Just because it was Tupac and I was attached to it, it was different. Nas, who had a short-lived feud with Tupac, had intentions to meet the Dear Mama rapper in Las Vegas as they had recently started to reconcile and put an end to their beef just a few days prior to Tupac's passing. Quote, we both knew we were supposed to continue that conversation and probably just squash the whole thing. I was scheduled to meet him in Vegas, the Queen's rapper previously revealed. In the days following that fight, it was indeed reported that Tupac Shakur had tragically been found dead.
Yes, I remember that fight because I remember talking to Tupac, making sure that he would have the tape because I was coming out of his with his music. As
Tyson was emerging from his own musical endeavors, he had plans to meet Tupac independently. However, tragically, that meeting could not materialize as Tupac passed away on that very day. I was at my house. I just had a brand new baby girl. I couldn't believe it. I told him I am coming to see you. I get dressed, then I had to go. I had to see my daughter, and somebody told me he had got shot, and the next morning they had released that he had died. To this day, Tyson bears the heavy burden of remorse, tormented by the idea that had he arrived just a few minutes earlier, he might have had the chance to aid Tupac and avert his devastating demise. The anguish of being unable to shield his friend and witnessing the aftermath of that fateful night continues to weigh heavily on his heart.
That was part of my world just happens. But just because it was Tupac and I was attached to it, it was different.
It's a burden he carries, yearning for the ability to turn back time and change the course of events. The recollections of their friendship and the deep connection they forged serve as an enduring reminder of what might have been, and the profound influence Tupac's loss had on his life.
I expect somebody to die after a fight, or somebody get hurt, something crazy happened. But when it happened to him, it was different.
On September 13, 1996, the world bid farewell to the iconic musician after a valiant struggle for his life. His untimely passing left an irreplaceable void in the hearts of countless fans, and the enigma shrouding his M still remains unsolved, intensifying the enduring sorrow of his departure. As one of his devoted fans aptly put it, quote, "I think Pac was tired of fighting his whole life. All these people were out to hurt him, and most of these people were in his circle. The man couldn't find peace in his heart because no one truly loved him. They just wanted to take from him. That's why he honored loyalty so much, and it hurt him more when people betrayed him. I feel like he felt like he was all alone and couldn't trust anyone. RIH, Pac." Another one added, "There was no conspiracy behind his tragic death. It's sad and unfortunate it happened, but he hung out with the wrong crowd and attacked a gang member, which cost him his life. He was not a bad person, but he had death coming to him every day he lived." Their connection went beyond the surface, as both men had encountered their fair share of difficulties. During Mike Tyson's time in incarceration, Tupac made a visit to him in jail, which stands as a compelling testament to the deep and authentic nature of their friendship. This heartfelt gesture underscores the genuine bond they shared.
I'm living in Cleveland then, but I'm coming out from LA. I'm just coming from LA or New York. I'm coming, maybe New York. I'm coming just go to the plane. Tupac's in the arena. I'm in the arena in Cleveland.
Tupac's legacy as a brilliant artist and a vocal champion for the marginalized continues to shine brightly. However, the persisting unanswered questions act as a constant reminder of the injustice and sadness surrounding his premature loss. Amidst all of this, Mike Tyson issued a resolute warning to those responsible for Tupac's attack, emphasizing his unwavering dedication to pursuing justice for his cherished friend.
You don't get in trouble anymore. You don't see nobody write anything about me no more, do you?
Right.
Things have changed. But when I'm young out there and I'm strapped and I'm ready to go.
According to some sources, there has been ongoing speculation about a specific individual who was reportedly with Tupac at the time of his death, and that individual is said to be Diddy. In various interviews, Mike Tyson has made veiled references to Diddy's potential involvement or awareness of the circumstances surrounding Tupac's passing. Patrick Bet David, the host of the podcast Valuetainment, has taken a deep dive into the complexities surrounding the death of Tupac Shakur, delving into the enigmas and unresolved queries that continue to envelop this tragic incident. "No, I just knew him for a long time," said Mike Tyson after being questioned on his closeness with P. Diddy. "Awesome guy. I knew him before he was Diddy, when I first became champ. He used to have my crates at my after parties and stuff," said Tyson. Mike Tyson has taken a moment to reflect on his childhood memories, reminiscing about how he once found it truly remarkable to imagine leaving behind negative influences and never having to encounter them again, especially during his most challenging moments in life. He said, "I remember when I was 11, 12 years old. It baffles me to think you just got away from these people. You'll never see them again at the worst of your level. You're not the only one God had his hands on. These guys were made successful too. You're almost like proud in a way." According to certain reports, there have been suggestions of Diddy being somehow linked to Tupac's M. The spotlight on this matter intensified when Biggie's M case was reopened in 2006 at the request of his mother. During this investigative process, LAPD Detective Greg Kading purportedly came across new information that appeared to establish a connection between Diddy and the K of Tupac.
And he was known as the multi-law enforcement task force that investigated the murders of rap stars Tupac and Biggie. That's the Wikipedia story about him.
Valletta Wallace, the mother of Biggie Smalls, indeed filed a lawsuit against the LAPD, seeking approximately $500 million in damages. She cited the well-known conspiracy theory that the police had concealed information about her son's death. This legal action prompted the reopening of the case in 2006, and it was assigned to LAPD Detective Greg Kading. During his investigation, Kading reportedly uncovered more information than he had initially anticipated, including details that seemed to have implications for the broader context of Tupac Shakur's M.
And they got these pictures. Is this the guy at the top? Is this the guy? So I have 50 different pictures with magnets, and he's putting these things up.
Detective Greg Kading made a substantial revelation during his investigation, expressing his belief that the deaths of the Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac were interconnected. While conducting his inquiry into Biggie's death, he unearthed new evidence that appeared to establish a connection between both cases.
I said, who is really the guy behind it? He says, well, we first thought it was this, then we first thought it was that, and we first thought it was this, and everything's going.
After an exhaustive 3-year investigation, Detective Greg Kading arrived at a startling conclusion. Sean Puff Daddy Combs was allegedly involved in ordering a $1 million hit on Tupac Shakur. The motive for this alleged involvement was believed to be connected to the intense rap feud involving himself and Biggie Smalls. Kading asserted that the music mogul had substantial gang connections to Los Angeles and purportedly enlisted the services of Crips member Duane Keith Keffe D Davis to execute the assassination.
Gotta retaliate so they don't look like, a weak gang. And two, they owe it to them.
According to Kading, the orchestration of 2Pac's M was attributed to Crips gang member Orlando Baby Lane Anderson. Initially, Keefy D was intended to carry out the hit, but a last-minute change of plans led to Keefy's nephew taking on the role of performing the assassination.
The Southside Crips and Orlando Anderson, Keefy D, they know that, hey, we just hit this dude in Las Vegas, and, it's on.
This sequence of events ultimately resulted in the tragic death of Tupac and the injury of Suge Knight. Interestingly, just hours before the shooting, Baby Lane had engaged in a physical altercation with Tupac at a Las Vegas casino.
Immediately in the aftermath, Diddy hears about the shooting, finds out that there's, Tupac's been shot and is in the hospital.
Surprisingly, there are claims that Biggie Smalls' former wife, Faith Evans, was aware of Diddy's alleged involvement in a plot to harm Tupac. Following Tupac's M, it is reported that Keefy D reached out to Diddy and Evans to inform them of their alleged connection to the tragic event.
Puffy asked him, man, was that us? Was it, what just happened out there? Keefy D's like, yeah.
Fans have long been vigilant and attentive to this case, as it appears they were aware of the details well before the official investigation even commenced. One fan commented, "There's only one person that knows for sure who shot him and who was behind it, and he was right beside Tupac." Another wrote, "Diddy made a lot of people want to be him." One of Tupac's supporters questioned the autopsy process, writing, "I'm assuming after the autopsy it was confirmed the bullets in Tupac only ever came from one gun? Just seems strange why you would have a car full of 4 people and only one is doing the shooting." The public's anger and frustration regarding Tupac's case are evident, and there is no doubt that they would have a strong reaction if they were to encounter the perpetrator alone and given the opportunity. Additionally, Mike Tyson has publicly issued a stern warning to the individual responsible for Tupac's death, emphasizing that he will not let them escape justice if he ever crosses paths with them. He wrote in a since-deleted Facebook post, "I wish I had 5 seconds with Tupac's care." The story of Tupac Shakur's M and the alleged confession of an accessory to the incident, Keefy D, has garnered extensive coverage in numerous publications. In an interview for the American crime documentary Unsolved, The Tupac and Biggie M, which was broadcast in May and recently made available on UK Netflix, Davis provides candid insights into his role as a witness to the M.
Still here, bro. Still waiting. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here waiting, bro. Damn.
The self-proclaimed Compton kingpin, Duane Keith Davis, has reportedly revealed that he has cancer, which he claims grants him immunity from prosecution. This may explain why he is confessing to his alleged involvement in the crime 20 years after the fact. According to Davis, he was seated in the front passenger seat next to the driver, Terrence Brown. In the back seat were DeAndre Smith and Davis's cousin Orlando Anderson, all of whom were purportedly members of the Southside Crips gang.
Along with Keefy D, the driver is a guy named Terrence Brown. They call him Bubble Up. Behind the driver is DeAndre Smith. He's in the left rear passenger seat. And Keefy D's nephew, Orlando Anderson, he's sitting behind the right front passenger seat.
The 4 individuals were reportedly en route to Suge Knight's 662 Club in Las Vegas with the intent of finding Tupac, as he had allegedly aided one of their fellow gang members earlier that day. However, Tupac was not present at the club during their visit. Subsequently, as they were departing, they purportedly spotted Tupac standing out of the top window of a car as he drove towards the club. "My partner busted you," Davis said. "When we pulled up, I was in the front seat." Davis said the shots came from the back, but does not name the shooter. Going to keep it for the code of the streets, it just came from the back seat. Keefy D, who was a suspect in the Tupac M case, had indeed shared intriguing details about the fatal altercation that resulted in the loss of one of the most influential rappers of all time. The Southside Crips gang member confessed to his active participation in the incident with the hope of receiving the promised $1 million compensation. However, he alleges that he never received any payment for his role in the tragic events of that night.
They wait to get $1 million to get in the game. to get in the game.
According to Keffe D, the shooting began when he observed Tupac reaching into his pocket, leading him to assume that Tupac was armed. Keffe D disclosed that he was the passenger in the white car on the night of the incident. However, he chose not to reveal the names of the other suspects involved, but did confirm that his nephew Orlando Anderson was the individual who carried out the shooting.
You think Johnny Cochran bad out here? Our boy Edie Fall a bad mother. You know what I'm saying? Our lawyer told us to do. He kept me out.
In numerous interviews, a documentary, and his book titled Compton Street Legend, the former Crip Keefy D openly admitted to his involvement in the M. However, his candidness might indeed put his freedom at risk, as these admissions could potentially lead to legal repercussions and further scrutiny from law enforcement authorities.
Who is them the people that name street code? Who are them to make street code? Who make the codes?
And his candidness really led him to some troubles as news of his arrest was circulating. However, until Friday, no charges had ever been filed in the case. As Fox 3 News tweeted, Keefy D, who bragged about being involved in the fatal shooting of Tupac Shakur, has been arrested 27 years after the M went unsolved. He was arrested on Friday morning, months after investigators raided a home in Las Vegas connected to the notorious Compton Crip gang leader. This high-profile and long-standing case has generated headlines, conspiracy theories, inspired songs, and even movies over the years, contributing to its enduring notoriety.
And when Tupac and Biggie wasn't existing no more, it was hard to say that this beef that we are talking about doesn't exist.
Quote, "This is the indictment we've been waiting almost 3 decades for," Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson said Friday, holding a copy of the indictment. "Justice will be served." Davis has now been charged with M with a deadly weapon committed to promote a criminal gang, specifically the Southside Compton Crips. However, Diddy's alleged involvements in the major M's of the industry can possibly drag him into prison, as reports and rumors are suggesting that he might also have been involved in Kim Porter's death too.